Okay, Tommy, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking of building a bench like this. It's like a combination shoe rack bench. My wife wanted something to put by the door if somebody comes in, a place to put your shoes.
Yep, sit down on it, storage right there. Are you guys on a budget?
Yeah, well, she got this online. I said, no, I'm really not gonna.
That's a little flimsy.
Yeah, I want to make something a little bit heavier, and I also want to change the design a little bit.
Okay, so maybe get rid of the exposed hardware, beef it up a touch?
Yeah. So I'm actually want to make it out of this material right here. This is actually straight grain fir. I like working with straight grain fir. It's good, strong wood.
So fur's nice, right? Stable, but also looks great. I mean, you could paint it, but even if you left it natural, it's going to be a great look.
You can paint it, stain it, yeah, right, leave a natural finish on it. This is actually porch decking.
Yeah, right.
1x4, get it
Nice.
at the home center. And I got some baluster stock, 2x2s, it's about 1 3/8 square. We use that for the legs, and I think we can get started by cutting some rough lengths.
Beautiful.
For this project, I have several repetitive cuts to make. To make sure that they come out the same each time, I use a stop on my miter saw. For each different length, I just reposition the stop and make the next cut. All right, now I need 9 pieces cut at 9 1/4 inches. My stop won't come in that far. So to fix that, I'm just going to take a scrap piece of wood, put it on here, loosen this up, slide this over, and measure from the end of this board right here over to where my cut needs to be, which is 9 1/4. Lock it down, and I have a stop right there that I can go to. I want to create the look that the slats are mortised into each rail, but it can be time-consuming to create the mortise and tenon joint in each piece. To speed up the process, I'll create a long dado in each rail and a rabbet on each end of the slats. The table saw will accept a stacked dado blade, but I'll just use a standard blade, moving the rip fence over the thickness of the blade for a series of cuts. For the rabbets on each end, I will stand up each board, making one set of cuts. Now we can start assembling our end panels. Now the dados that I put in the top and the bottom of each one of the pieces, I want to make those simulated like a mortise. The way we're going to do that, we're going to insert a filler piece in the dado in between each one of the lats. So we eyeball it, lay it out, so we have one in the center, and then we divide that again, center it. I'm going to put 1 dab of glue inside the dado. And I'll put too much because it's going to squeeze out anyways, but I'm going to put in 1, push it down a little bit. I don't want to push it all the way in yet. Pull this up, put the next one in. Stand this up. Stand the next one up.
No glue on the slats by design, right?
Not yet. We'll put it in when we assemble a piece. All right, so now that they're in, I can push these down as far as they go, and I can push them in tight so they may slide in just a little bit. Okay, so there's one. Now we'll do the other side. So now our spacers are all set where they need to go. Now I'm going to take it apart, let the glue set up just for a minute, and then we'll sand them smooth. And now we'll do the same thing for our shelf slats. Tighten it up. Once the glue has dried on the end panels and the shelves, I can use a jig to drill slots for pocket screws. This is a fast way to make a strong connection. So now, so I want to put one right there. All right, so now we're ready to screw the pieces together. And rather than keep it flush with the outside edge of the leg, I like to recess it back about a ½ inch. To gauge that, just take a couple of scrap pieces of ½ inch, put it down, put a side panel on it, and that gives us our ½ inch reveal. And now just screw it off.
Flush.
Ready?
Ready.
It's the beginning. All right, so now we're ready to set our shelf right up here. I set a gauge block, put it down like that. Put our shelf in it. And again, fit lightly. Put a couple of screws in it and move our gauge block. All right, take the block out and move it up. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, so these are the boards for the top. We'll just leave them loose. We're not even going to glue them. Put them on. Measure back 1 inch for our overhang. All right. Should be 1 inch. We'll check it. All right, now we'll just put the legs on top. Line it up with our marks. See how close it is. All right, put it on the mark down there. Okay, it's good there.
Got it.
Now I'll screw this side off. Now we're ready to apply the finish, and we're going to spray on a couple of coats of high-gloss, water-based urethane. Once that dry, we'll put 2 or 3 coats of satin on top of that.
Okay, let's see, Tommy.
Looks pretty good, that finish. That's a water-based finish.
Yeah, a bunch of coats on there. Looks nice.
It's dry.
Look at that, baby.
Sturdy.
I love it.
Dry to
Oh,
the
it's not
touch,
that
but it's
sturdy?
not set up
Oh.
yet.
Oh, really? You didn't want a denim finish?
You are unbelievable.
It is that
You know?
sturdy. Richard, what do you think?
Love it.
Yeah?
Really
Perfect
comfy.
height?
Yeah.
Good for the shoes?
Yeah. Oh,
It's good for carrying a lot of weight, too, I see.
Tommy, plumber approved. Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.